Hi, hello, my dear students. This is your Prasanna Harikrishna sir, Assistant Professor of Botany, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. So today we are going to see about dark phase or dark reaction. The alternative name to dark reaction is carbon fixation or carbon assimilation. Okay, so carbon dioxide is trapped, means carbon is trapped in the form of carbon dioxide in this particular phase. Okay, hence it is carbon fixation or assimilation. Clear? So generally this particular phase or reaction takes place in the stroma of chloroplast. Okay, so the reaction site of dark phase, or you can say carbon fixation or carbon assimilation, is the stroma region of chloroplast. As we know very well about the structure of chloroplast, we have seen the structure of chloroplast in our earlier classes. So stroma is the liquid portion or inner portion of the chloroplast. Clear? So stroma is the reactive site, active action site for dark phase or carbon fixation or carbon assimilation. Generally, so this is dark phase. Dark phase nothing but it does not require any sunlight. Okay, sunlight is not needed for dark phase. So this is older concept, but recent experiments or recent research says that it takes place in the presence of light or in the absence of light. But in older times, scientists believed that dark phase does not need light. Hence this is called as dark phase. But recent times, recent experiments say that dark phase occurs in the presence or in the absence of light. Okay, remember, but there is a need of temperature. Okay, so temperature is an essential component or essential factor for dark phase. Whenever the light is available or light is not available, dark phase occurs in the plants, that occurs in the stroma of chloroplast. Okay, so then this dark phase, dark phase nothing but what? Carbon fixation. Carbon dioxide, for example, this is a plant. Okay, so this is about roots, leaves of the plants, right? So whenever the carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere, the percentage of carbon dioxide is around 0.03%. Okay, so whenever it enters inside the leaf through the stomata, so stomata nothing but small pores. Stomata means small pores which are extended or which are distributed over the leaf. Okay, so these stomata are helpful for the entry of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to the leaf. Okay, so whenever the carbon dioxide enters inside the leaf, nothing but whenever the plant traps the atmospheric carbon dioxide, so this triggers the dark phase of the plant, means photosynthetic process, second phase of photosynthetic process. Clear? So then carbon dioxide enters inside the leaf and it will combine with different it is trapped by the enzyme called Rubisco. So this carbon dioxide is trapped by Rubisco. So Rubisco is an enzyme, so which is helpful for trapping atmospheric carbon dioxide. So then there is a formation of one particular compound. Okay, so after trapping carbon dioxide by the Rubisco, so there will be formation of any of the stable compounds in that particular process. So this stable compound depends upon the number of carbons in this particular stable compound. All the plants in the world are categorized into three types. Okay, one is C3 plants, second one is C4 plants, third one is CAM plants. Okay, C3 plants, C4 plants and CAM plants. So these plants are categorized based on the first stable compound which is formed after the combination of carbon dioxide with something else. So this entire reaction is catalyzed by an enzyme called Rubisco. Okay, The first one is C3 plants, C4 plants and CAM plants. What is meant by C3? C3, nothing but three number. So C stands for carbon. Okay, there are 3 carbons in this particular plants. The first stable compound of this is the first stable compound, you know. So this stable compound contains 3 carbons. So whenever the plants or whichever the plants have the first stable compound that contains 3 carbons, those plants can be called as C3 plants. Clear? Then if the first stable compound is having 4 carbons, that can be called as C4 plants. If the first stable compound is having 4 carbons but is different name, that can be called as CAM plants. So CAM nothing but crussulacean acid metabolism. So crussulacean acid metabolism. So Crussulaceae is in a group of plants family. So in which this particular cycle, CAM cycle, takes place. Okay, generally remember the first stable compound in C3 plants would be PGA. So this is 3 carbon compounds, remember. So PGA is the first stable compound in C3 plants, hence the name is C3. So phosphoglyceric acids. Phosphoglyceric acid is basically a 3 carbon compound which is formed as a first stable compound in C3 plants. Then come to C4 plants. The first stable compound would be OAA. So OAA stands for oxaloacetic acids. Oxaloacetic acid would be the first stable compound in C4 plants. Then come to CAM plants, crussulacean acid metabolism. The first stable compound would be having 4 carbons but has different name, that is MA, malic acid. What is that? Malic acid. So malic acid is a first stable compound in CAM plants. Oxaloacetic acid is a first stable compound in C4 plants. Phosphoglyceric acid is a first stable compound in C3 plants. Okay, so this is about basic structure or basic information related to dark phase or carbon assimilation, or you can say carbon fixation, right? So today, we are going to see about the introductory session of C3 plants. What is that? C3 plants. Just a minute. So C3 plants. C3 nothing but what? There are 3 carbons in that stable compound, that is phosphoglyceric acid. So most of the plants, remember, most of the C3 plants are living in the temperate regions. Okay. So where do they grow? They grow in the temperate regions. Temperate regions nothing but the cold climatic conditions is very favorable, and they are cold climatic conditions. Okay, and most of the C3 plants are dicotyledons, or you can say dicots. Okay, for example, if the seed contains 2 cotyledons, example you can say groundnuts, beans, etc. Okay, so every seed contains 2 parts, those are cotyledons. Okay, so these dicot plants show C3 cycle, or these are the example for C3 plants. Okay, then some of the monocots are also showing this particular mechanism. So they are also, some of the monocots are also called as C3 plants, but most of the dicotyledons are the examples for C4 plants. Okay, of course C3 plants are there in algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta and gymnosperms. Okay, so C3 plants are also present in algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta and gymnosperms. Okay, they are also example for C3 plants. Okay, then these C3 plants show the cycle called C3 cycle. Okay, so C3 cycle nothing but carbon 3 cycle takes place in this particular plant category, that is C3 plants. This C3 plants has different kind of one particular enzyme called Rubisco. Okay, so Rubisco is basically an enzyme which is most powerful enzyme in the plants. So this Rubisco is helpful for C3 cycle. right? So let us discuss about the structure and detailed information related to Rubisco. Remember, so this, Rubisco stands for RUBP carboxylase oblique oxygenase. So RUBP carboxylase or oxygenase is an expansion of Rubisco. So this kind of enzyme is also called as fraction 1 protein. The alternative name to this particular enzyme is fraction 1 protein, right? It is basically a protein. So it is basically an enzyme, means every enzyme is made up of what? Proteins. All the enzymes are proteins, but all the proteins may not be an enzymes. Remember. So all the enzymes are made up of proteins. Hence all the enzymes are, there is a statement, you can remember that particular statement. Remember that all the enzymes are proteins, means all the enzymes are made up of proteins, but all the proteins may not be an enzymes. For example, you can say hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is an example for protein, but it is not an enzyme. Remember, okay? Then Rubisco is there in the chloroplast. Okay, Rubisco is there in the chloroplast. The entire proportion, the entire percentage of Rubisco in the entire plant community is about 40%. Remember, right? For example, if you observe, if you can take an example of leaf, this entire leaf has different kinds of proteins and different kinds of enzymes. Apart from all the proteins and all the enzymes which are there in the leaf, is an example for 100% composition. So out of 100%, this Rubisco accounts around 40%. Means this is the most abundant protein. This is what? The most abundant protein on the earth. Clear? Rubisco is the most abundant protein on the planet Earth. Okay? Because it contains or it accounts around 40% share in the plants. Okay? Now, this Rubisco shows, dual role. Okay? Remember, this is a very important aspect of Rubisco. Okay? So, it shows, dual role. What is meant by dual role? Dual nothing but what? Two. Means, whenever, for example, this is what? Rubisco. This is Rubisco, nothing but RUBP carboxylase and oxygenase, right? Whenever the carbon dioxide level is more around the plants, whenever the carbon dioxide level is more around the plants, this particular enzyme acts as carboxylase, right? Carboxylase. Whenever there is an ase at the suffix, means end term, that can be called as an enzyme. Okay? Whenever there is oxygen, more oxygen around the plant, so this particular Rubisco acts as an oxygenase. Okay? So oxygenase means it has two forms. Rubisco has two forms, hence it plays dual role. One role can be carboxylase, whenever the carbon dioxide level is there or more around the plant. So this Rubisco acts as a carboxylase. Whenever the oxygen levels are more around the plant, it acts as an oxygenase. Remember, when it acts as a carboxylase, when the Rubisco acts as a carboxylase, this particular carboxylase enters into C3 cycle. Okay? Then whenever it acts as an oxygenase, it enters into C2 cycle. Okay? There is one more cycle that can be called as C2 cycle, or you can say glycolate pathway. C2 cycle is an alternative name, that is glycolate pathway. Okay? So this is all about the dual role of Rubisco. Then come to, so generally it is made up of what? Proteins. Okay? This protein has 552 kilodaltons of molecular weight. Okay, the entire weight of Rubisco is 552 kilodaltons. This Rubisco has two major subunits, that is L subunit and S subunit. Okay, L subunit and S subunit. Nothing but L stands for larger subunit, S stands for smaller subunit. Okay. So whenever L subunit is there in that particular form, this weighs around 440 kilodaltons. The entire weight is 552 kilodaltons. Out of 552, larger subunit has 440 kilodaltons of molecular weight. Then smaller subunit can be 112 kilodaltons. So 112 kilodaltons is smaller subunit's weight. So 440 plus 112 gives rise to 552 kilodaltons. Okay. Now this larger subunits are 8, means this can be called as L8, and smaller the total number of smaller subunits are also 8. Hence it is S8. L8 and S8. Okay. Remember, larger subunits are 8, smaller subunits are also 8. So larger subunits are manufactured or synthesized by the coding of ptDNA. Remember, so ptDNA nothing but what? Plasmid DNA. So plasmid DNA genes encode the protein synthesis. These proteins, larger subunit proteins, are synthesized by the information from plasmid DNA. It is very, very important aspect. Then come to smaller subunits, that is S8. So these proteins are encoded by the nuDNA. nuDNA nothing but nuclear DNA. So nuclear DNA encode the synthetic process of this particular subunits. Then plasmid DNA encodes larger subunit proteins. Then nuclear DNA encodes the synthesis of smaller subunits. Okay. So this larger subunit acts as the catalytic site. This acts as the catalytic and regulatory site. Catalytic and regulatory site. Smaller subunits are helpful for enzymatic activity. Okay, so this is all about the entire information related to Rubisco. Okay, so this is basic information of dark phase and C3 plants. This is about C3 plants. Okay, so there is a cycle. The cycle is take place in C3 plants, that can be called as what? C3 cycle. So in next session, in next class, we will discuss the entire picture of C3 cycle. That can be asked for your competitive examinations like CU sets and state level exam, PG entrance examinations, and that can also be an important question for your semester exams. Okay, so thank you one and all. In next session we will go through the cycle, that is C3 cycle. So thank you one and all.